Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we are going to deep dive into one of the most powerful and fundamental data structure, arrays. So we will dive into what is array, what are the different arrays method in JavaScript, what are the common interview questions that frequently asked in the interviews. After watching this video you will have a comprehensive understanding of array manipulation in JavaScript. So if you are someone who want to prepare for an interviews or you want to level up your JavaScript skills, this video is for you. So make sure to watch this video till end. So first of all, let's understand what is array. So arrays is nothing just collection of items in a single variable. So let's create an empty array. So to create an empty array, we write const array. This is the array name. You can write anything and just write this empty square bracket. So this empty square bracket will create an empty collection, empty array, whatever you want to say. Now there is one another method of creating empty array. You can say arrays2 and here you write new and this will create an empty array. So both of these are same. This will create the empty array. So if I just write console.log array comma array2, so you can find both of them is empty array. Now let's say if I want to add few elements here 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is my array2. Let's console this for now. Let's remove this. So this is my list. Now arrays in JavaScript is quite different from arrays in other programming language. Like in C or C++, arrays contain only the same type of items in the list. But here you can add any data types in the list. So this is the number. You can add a string here. You can add object here. And you can write array inside arrays too. So you can write anything inside this array. So we can say arrays in JavaScript is the collection of items which can be of different data types. Now let's understand how to access first and the last element of the array. Arrays in JavaScript are zero index. So if you want to access first element, so you have to access it zero index. So here if you see zero index, so the first element is 1. This is the first index, and or you can say second element. So if you want first element, so you will say const first element equals to array 0. So this is how we access the first element. You write the square bracket and after the square bracket you write whatever index you want to access. So if I console.log my first element, so it will say 1. So if I write here instead of 0, if I write here 1, so its answer will be 2. So this is here how to access any element at the any index. So whatever index you want to find, write that index. So now let's say if you want to find the last index, so how to find the last index? So for finding the last index you need to find its length. So for finding its length you have to say const length array length equals to array dot length. So this is the length, this is the property. So this is the property. So if you console here array length, so here it says 7. So if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So yeah, array length is 7. So now if you want to access the last element, so what it will be its index will be array length minus 1. So const last element equals to array length minus 1. And if I console this, so you can find the last element. Now this is the last element. So last element is the array. Okay, so last element is this is the complete last element. So now what is the time complexity of these two? So time complexity of accessing any element of an array using the index is O of 1. It is constant time. You just write the index and it find it. So the time complexity of this will be O of 1. So make sure to understand time complexity, and if you are not sure how to calculate time complexity, I would highly recommend you to watch my previous video where I explain how to calculate the big O notation and the time complexity of any algorithm. So now let's understand we have this array and we want to add or delete some item. This is our array and I want to remove this 1, 2, 3, the last element. For removing the last element from the array, we write array.pop. And now if I console.log, my output will be, what will be my output? My output will be 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 hello name, and this last element will be removed. And where it is, you can store that last element in a variable. So this array.pop will delete the last element and also return that last element. So if I say last element, and here if I I can say, yeah, last element 1. So here if I write last element 1, so here you can find this is the last element, this is the element which is deleted. So pop not only just delete the last element, it also return that last element. So if you want to access the last element, you will use this. If you want to delete the last element and also return the last element, then you use the pop. Now let's understand how to add an element to the end of the array. To add the element, you write array dot push, and in this you have to pass the item that you want to add. So let's say if I want to add 5. So now if I console.log my array, so here you can see this 5 is added at the end of the array. So now let's say if you want to add an element into start of array, then what you have to do? For adding an element to the start of array, we write array dot unshift, and here we write, let's say 0. So console.log array, and here this 0 will be added at the starting of the array. Now let me know the time complexity of pop, push and unshift in the comment section. So we are just deleting the last element, so it will take of 1 time complexity, constant time complexity. We are adding the last element at the end, so here also it will take of 1. But in the unshift, we are adding element at the starting of the array, so all the other item will be shift to 1.1 index. That means this one is earlier 0 index, now this one will become first index. So this goes for same. So now our time complexity of this will become of n. Similarly, if you want to delete an element from starting of array, so you will use array dot shift. So now if I console.log my array, so here you can see this first element is deleted, this 0 is again deleted, and now so again once you delete the first element, now you have to again shift the indexes. So the time complexity of this will also of n. So now let's understand how to loop through an array in JavaScript. So very first way is using the for loop. So if you write for let I equals to 0, I less than array dot length, and here I plus plus, and if you write console.log array array of I. So here you can see this 1 comma 2 all item will be consoling. The second method is forEach method. So here you write array dot forEach, and here you have to return a callback function. So let's say let me write a callback function which is console.log I. So this will also give not the I have to say array of I. And one more thing, in the console function the first element will be the array element and second will be the index. Okay, so either you use array of I or you can use x comma array of I. Okay, so this x is the first element, this x is the element and I is the index. There is one more way of looping through an array, because array is iterable, so we can use for of loop. So let x of array, and here we can write console.log x. So these are the ways of looping through an array in JavaScript. Now is the time to solve our very first common interview question, that is how did you check if element is present in the array or not. So we are going to create our first function find element, and here we will have our array and the target as the parameter, and we are going to how we will solve. We will say let's iterate over the loop, and if you find the element, if the x equals to target, then you don't need to iterate, you just need to return true, yes this is present. Otherwise if there is no element, we will say return false. Now let's check it out, is it working or not. So console.log, and here I am passing find element. This is the calling this function, passing array and passing hello. So this will return true. Now control C and control V, and here I am passing, let's say, h. So it's a h is not present. So yeah, it's working fine. There are some inbuilt functions to do the same thing. So what we can do, console.log in array dot includes, and in the includes if we write hello, so it will return true or false, and similarly if I write h, it's a false. So there are one more method. Let's say the next question is check if an element is present in an array or not. If it is present, return its index. So for solving that question, let's use the same function, find element. Copy it and paste it here, and here I'm saying find element and index. Find element index. Now we have to return the index. So how we will return? So rather than using this, we will say let's use a simple loop. I equals to 0, I less than array dot length I plus plus, and if array of I is target, then return the I. Otherwise you can return the -1. Now we will check it if it's working. Console.log find element index, and here I am sending the array, and my target is, let's say, hello. So hello is present at fourth index. So let's find out. Yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, hello is at the fourth index. Now if I want to say h, so it says not present. So yeah, it's working perfectly fine. And there is also inbuilt function for doing the same. So we can say console.log array dot indexOf, and here I am writing hello. So it's written 4. Now let's understand how to add, delete and update element from a specific index. For that we are going to use a splice method. So we are going to write array dot splice, and here if you read, this very first is the start number. So that is the our start number. Let's say if I want to say start from the first index, then it's a delete count from the first index. How many element you want to delete? Let's say you want to delete 3. Okay, so let's console what is the output, console.log array, and let's just copy it and paste it here so that you can find out. So here 1, 2, 3. So from the first index I delete the 3 item. So 2, 3, 4, this will be deleted. So this will delete 3 items from the first index. So now the 0 index will be there, and this is the fourth index. Here you can see 2, 3, 4 is deleted. So this is how you have to delete the item from a specific index. Now let's say if you want to add few item at a specific index. So how to do that? You will say array dot splice 1. Let's say you want to add, and you write 0. That means don't delete anything, just add 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this item will be added here. So let's just console it again. So here you can say from the first element, from the first index, this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be added. So this is the delete count. After that, all the item you write here, this will be added from that index. This is the start index. Now let's say you want to update some item. So how to do that? You can combine this two steps. So if you write array dot splice, and here if you write from the first index, delete 3 item and add 6, 7, 8. So now what will happen? If I just paste this, so what will happen from the first index? This 2, 3, 4 will be deleted, and 6, 7, 8 will be added. So this is how you update the element from the specific index. So I hope you understand delete, add and update from a specific index. There is one common interview problem based on splice topic. What is the difference between splice and slice? So let's see both of them. This splice is used to add, delete and update elements from a specific index, and this slice will take a sub-array from this array. So let's say if I want to say const sub-array, and that will take array dot slice, and here I have to write the starting number, let's say first, and the ending number, let's say 4. So from the first, and this is the index, 4 is the index. So now if I console.log subarray, so it's written 6, 7, 8. So what is this? 6 from the first index to the fourth. And one more thing, this fourth is excluded. So I would say it will take from start, and this will be open bracket, that means and is excluded. So it's written that. And one more difference is that here if you see in this splice, here if you see in this splice, this is splice array, or sorry, this original array is got it changed, but here the original array will be same. Okay, if you save the array, so it's still same, it's not deleted from the original array, only the new array will be written. So what is the difference between splice and slice? That slice change the slice does not change the original array, splice change the original array, and splice do lots of work like add, delete, update, and this slice only return the subarray. So now let's understand how to copy an array in JavaScript. There are two kind of copy, shallow copy and deep copy. And if you don't understand the difference between the shallow copy and deep copy, most probably you are going to see lots of buggy code in JavaScript. So let's understand what is shallow copy in JavaScript. For doing a shallow copy of array, you just write const, let's say array b equals to array. So now here this if I console log array b, console.log array b, you will see the array b and array b and array a. Oh, array b and array, both of them are same. But one thing is, now if I change something in array b, let's say if I say array b dot push or array b dot splice, let's say 1 comma, let's delete 4. So here you see in the array b I delete 4 element, and you see it's deleted from the array also, because this array b and array, both of this array pointing to the same array, pointing to the same reference, pointing to the same memory. So this is what happens when you do a shallow copy. So make sure don't do shallow copy whenever you write this kind of code. So what happen? You change in the array b, and those change will be in play in the array, because both of these are pointing to the same memory location, same reference. Now if you actually wants to copy an array into another array, for that you have to take a deep copy of an array. So let's understand deep copy. So for there is different method of doing a deep copy. So the very first method is you can use the spread operator. So you will say here this is known as this 3 dot. Make sure this is 3 dot, okay, not 2, not 4. So what it will do, it will spread this array into the collection, and then this square bracket will make it an array. Okay, so now let's just do a console.log, and here array c and array. So you can see both of them are same. Now if I do some change here, let's say delete 4 element. So the array c will come 1 comma 5, but this array is still same. Now there is one more way of doing a deep copy. Let's say const array d equals to array.from, and here I pass the array. Now again if I do this splice operator, so control C control V, and here if I write d, and again here I write array comma d. So here you will see array g, after that it should be space. So yeah, it's same, but array does not change. Now there is one more method, array e, let's say array e equals to if you write array dot concat. I will let you know there is one more way of doing this. But in this concat, if you don't send anything, like if you don't pass anything in the concat method, so again it will return the copy, deep copy. So here 1 comma 3, and here if I write array e and array. So yeah, these are the some ways of doing a deep copy. Now let's understand. Let's say you have a two array A and array B, and if you wants to add those two arrays, so how to do that? Again, there are lots of methods for adding two arrays. So let's say const array new array, that will if I write array, and here if I write um, 2 commas 3 comma 4, so I can do this way. So now this 2 comma 3 will be added here, or we can say like if I want to add array e, so what I can say, array and array e. So let's console it, the new array, console dot log, and here if I write new array, so here it have 1 comma 5 comma 6 all this first element, and then it have this 5. Okay, again you can see 1 comma 1 comma 2 comma 3 and 5. This is the array, this is the array 1. So this is the first way. Second way, if you want to add, you can use this concat method. So you can say const new array 2 equals to array dot concat, and here you have to write array e, and here if I write new array 2, so this is also same. Now it's time to solve our next question, that is how to check if two arrays are equal or not. So first of all, let's create a simple function, const is array equal, which will take two array 1 and array 2. And then what we have to do, first of all, if length of those two arrays are same, then only they can equal. If their length is not equal, then forget about its element. Okay, so what we are going to say, if array 1 dot length equals to array 2 dot length, if it is not equal, then return false. Okay, if it's not equal, then return false. Otherwise what we will do, we will check for every element. Like we are going to use for let I equals to 0, I less than array dot length I plus plus if array of I, that is array 1, and here also it will be array 1. If array 1 of I is equals to array that is triple equal array 2 of I. Okay, so not check for equal, check for unequal. If they are not equal, then return false. And finally, if their length are equal, all elements are equal, then return true. So let's check it out. Console.log, and here I am finding is array equal, and inside that I am passing two array 1 comma 2 comma 3, and second array will be 1 comma 2 comma 3. So it's returning true. Now let's say if I remove this 3, so it's returning false. So this is working. So we can use one more method of doing the same work. So let's just comment it out, and let's do it using different way. So what we will do, we will return array 1 dot length, array 1 of length equals to array 2 of length, and array 1 dot every. We are going to use every, and here I am going to say, let's say element, and here it's the index. Now what I am gonna say is array of I, array 1 of I should equals to array 2 of I. Now let's console and see if it's working or not. See, so what this every do? So this every method will check this condition should be true for all element. If it is not true for a single element, then also it will return false. Similarly, we have one more method. Dot sum. So in dot sum, if at least one element follow the condition, that it will return true. Every means every element should follow this condition. Every element of array 1 is equals to array 2. So yeah, this is the sort of version. You can solve it in the one line of code. So now let's understand how to sort an array in ascending and descending order in JavaScript. So first of all, let's create an array const x equals to, let's say, minus 1, 4, 5, 0, minus 9, add few negative numbers 2, And now if I want to sort it, I can simply write sort, and this is the inbuilt function which will sort it. We will learn more about the sorting algorithm in later on. I can simply say the sort will take of log n and log n time complexity for now, but in the sorting algorithm video we will learn more about the sorting, but for now it's okay. Okay, console.log, if I check, yeah, it is sorted. So this is how we sort in the ascending order. Now if you want to sort in the descending order, you say x.sort, and here you have to pass in callback function. You can see callback function which contain a comma b some number, and it should return some number. Okay, so let me say a comma b. This is the pair of this array, and if I write b minus a, so this b minus a will return a number. So what it will do, this callback function will run on each pair of this element array, and if this number is positive, then it will swap, otherwise it will not swap. So here let me give some example. So here we have 2 comma 4, 2 comma 4, wait, we have 1 comma 4. Okay, so let here a is 1 and 4 is b. So what is b minus a? 4 minus 1, it is positive number, then it will swap. So our 1 comma 4 will become 4 comma 1. So now let's console and see console.log and see the x value. So here if you see, the 1 comma 4 will change to 4 comma 1. So yeah, this is how you swap it, and time complexity of this will also n log n. So now comes our fifth question, that is how to reverse an array. To reverse the array, you simply write dot reverse function. So x dot reverse, and here you will console.log and x, so it is reverse. Now I would suggest you to write the implementation of reverse. You just have to swap the first and last element, and you have to comes to till the midpoint. Now let's discuss the most frequently asked interview question on array method, map, filter and reduce. These are not only the most frequently asked question, but these are the most frequently used on array manipulation. Although I have already created a separate video on these three, where I have show how to create the polyfill, and we have solved 6 interview questions on that. Let me just quickly revise what is map, filter and reduce. So let's say we have this x array. Maps methods take a callback function and run that callback function on each element of array and return the new array. So let's create the new map array which take like x dot map, and this take a callback function. So let's create an arrow function, and this arrow functions take first is the element of the array, second is the index of the array, and third is the array itself. So I am not using the array right now. Now what I want to do, I want to take the square of each element. So let's console.log new array, map array, and here if you see -9 square will be 81, 5 25. So this is how map work. And now let's comes to the filter. So I will say positive numbers, and here I will say x dot filter. It also return the new array, and here it will run the callback function on each element, and whatever element fulfill that condition, it will push that element into the new array. So here let's say I have the element, have the index, and now what I am gonna do, I will say element is greater than 0. So if element is greater than 0, so -9 is greater than 0, no. -5, no. 0, no. 1 is greater than 0, yes. So it will add these ones to this new array. Then 4, 6, these are the, so let's see and console it, console.log and and here I want to write positive numbers. So 1, 4, 6 will be written. Now the final is the reduce. So as like map and filter return a new array, this reduce return a simple number. Okay, so here I will say, let's say if I want to find sum of array, okay, sum of array, and here I want to sum of this positive number. So what I will do, I will say positive numbers dot reduce. Now it will take two value, accumulator and initial value. So accumulator, and this is the index, okay, the element. and this is the callback function, and also is take the initial value. I am giving initial value as 0, and here I am writing accumulator plus element. And now console.log and console.log sum of array. So it's written 11. 1 plus 4 plus 6, 11. Now if I don't give this initial value, in that case it will take first value of the array as the initial value. Okay. So I hope you understand map, filter and reduce. There are lots of array method, and I hope I want you should explore by yourself. I want to discuss one more important array method, that is a flat. Let's say you have an array which is a nested array 1 comma 2 comma, and which have a 4 comma 5, which inside have like 6 comma 7, and you have certain type of nested array, and you want to make it flat. What does it mean by flat? You want to make it 1 comma 2 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7 comma 8 comma 9. You want to make it like this. So how to do that? For that you have to write y dot flat, and here if you do this and console dot log, so here if you see y, you see it is flatted. So now here you have to write the depth of flat. Okay, so if I write 3, if I write 4, and by the way it's written the array, so I will say flatted array equals to this, and here if I write flatted array, so you can see let me just remove the y so that you can find it clearly. So this is the depth of array, by which depth it should flat. Okay, so if I write it 1, so it's reduce only this array. Okay, if I make it 2, then it make it perfectly fine. So I hope you understand this flat. There is one more method that I want to talk, and I hope this is the last, that is filter versus find. What is the difference between filter versus find? So what these filters do, it will use this condition and apply these conditions to all element, and all element which follow this condition, it return those element. But what this find do, it will return the first element which fulfill this condition. So let's say if I write the same code, positive number, let's say positive number, and if I console log it, console.log positive number, positive number. So here if you see this positive number, let me write not filter, I have to write find. Okay, so it's written 1. So first is the first element which fulfill the condition. These are the all the method that I want to share it with you. Now you are capable of understanding how to do array manipulation, how to use these functions, and I will share few questions that you have to solve. I will share at least 10 question, 10 lead code problem, which is kind of easy question, and 2 or 3 question will be of medium level. Check out all these practice question on my GitHub repo and solve those questions. And if you have any doubt on those questions, do ask in the WhatsApp community or the Telegram community. All the link in the description. Also, if you want to solve more questions other than those practice questions mentioned in the GitHub repo, you are feel free to solve those questions. And if you have any doubt, I will solve those doubt in the live doubt session on the weekend. So this is it for this video. I will see you next time.